Hello and welcome to Pre-Algebra, where today we're going to learn some two-step equations. Okay, so our steps in solving a two-step equation is we are going to first circle the variable. Our whole goal is to get that variable by itself. All right, then we want to identify everything that's happening to that variable, and we want to do the inverse operations that's happening to it. We always want to do the opposite. We want to start with the operation farthest from the variable. Okay, so let's see this example here. I have a 3x plus 5 equals negative 16. Okay, so what is furthest from the variable? Well, it has to be that 5 because that 3 is right up on that x, right? So I see it's adding 5, so the opposite of that would be minus 5. So I'm subtracting 5 to get rid of these 5s, and whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Negative 16 minus 5 gives me negative 21. All right, so now I'm left with 3x equals negative 21. All right, so I need to get rid of that 3 so I can get x by itself. That's our whole goal, is get that variable all alone. So if it's 3x, that means times. So the opposite of that would be divide. So I'm going to divide by 3 to get rid of those 3's and leave me with just x. And negative 21 divided by 3 gives me negative 7. All right, so first thing we did is we looked at it, we circled our variable, and then we found out what was happening to it. They were adding 5, so we subtracted 5 to get rid of it. Well, they were multiplying by 3, so we divided it by 3 to get rid of those 3's. And we started with that 5 because it was the furthest away from the variable. We always get rid of the term that is not with the variable first, and then we deal with the number that is with the variable. Okay? All right, so what that means is for most two-step equations, your first step is going to be add or subtract, and your second step is going to be multiply or divide. This is not always true, but for 90% of the equations you'll solve, this is true. Your first step is going to be add or subtract, your second step is going to be multiply or divide. All right, so that's important to remember, and that is how we're going to solve two-step equations. All right, let's do some practice problems together. All right, here's an example here. I have 2x minus 4 equals 8, right? So first thing I want to do is circle my variable. I want to get that by itself. So I got to figure out what's happening to that variable and get rid of everything, leave that variable alone. I always get rid of the number that's not next to the variable first. So this is a minus 4, so I want to do a plus 4 to get rid of that, and that's going to leave me with this 2x over here. It's an equal sign, so whatever I do to one side, I have to do to my other side. 8 plus 4 gives me 12. All right, so now I added or subtracted. My next step, I see I have 2x. I want to get that 2 away. A number next to a letter means multiply, so I want to divide by 2 to cancel those out and leave me with just 1x. And I want to do the same thing to the other side. 12 divided by 2 would give me 6. So then my answer is x equals 6. All right, let's try the second problem. I have 3x minus 4 equals 5. I want to get this x all by itself. That's my whole goal in an equation, to get that variable by itself. All right, I get rid of the number that's not next to the variable first. So I see it's a minus 4. I want to do the opposite, which is a plus 4. Those cancel out, and that's going to leave me with 3x over here. Just bring that 3x down. All right, whatever I do to one side of my equation, I have to do to the other side. 5 plus 4 will give me 9. There we go. So now I have 3x equals 9. Well, I have to get rid of this 3. A number next to a variable means multiply, so I'm going to divide by 3 to cancel those out and leave me with x. And then I have to do the same thing to the other side. And 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. So my final answer is x equals 3. All right, in this example, I have x divided by 3 plus 4 equals 6. All right, so my whole goal is I want to get this x all by itself, right? I want to get rid of the number that's not next to the x first, which is this plus 4. The opposite of that plus 4 is a minus 4. That gets rid of that. So I'm left with x over 3 on my left side. Whatever I do to my left side, I have to do to my right side because it's an equal sign. I have to keep them equal. And 6 minus 4 is 2. All right, so I have x divided by 3 equals 2. Well, divided by, the opposite of divided by would be times. So I'm going to times by 3 to get rid of those and leave me with x. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. 2 times 3 gives me 6. So I have x equals 6. And that is my final answer. All right, this question over here, this top right one, I'm going to do the same type of steps. I want to get this variable all by itself, right? So I want to get rid of the thing without the variable first. This is a plus 4. I'm going to do a minus 4. That cancels those out, and that's going to leave me with 2 over 3x, or 2/3 x. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do the other side. So I have to do a minus 4 on this side. 12 minus 4 gives me 8. There we go. All right, so now I have a fraction in front of my variable. So when I have a fraction in front of my variable, the way we get rid of that is we times it by the reciprocal. And reciprocal means we flip the fraction. And so instead of 2 over 3, it's going to become 3 over 2. So to get rid of fractions, we use the reciprocal, which means you flip the fraction. And the reason you do that is because 3 over 2 times 2 over 3 equals 1. And that's what we want. We want 1x. Right? And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to my other side. So I can times that 8 by 3 over 2. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 divided by 2 gives me 12. So my answer is x equals 12. All right, let's do one more problem together. Let's do this bottom left one. All right, so this bottom left one, I see it's an equation, but it's a little different because my variable term's not first like all these other ones. All right, so I want to still get this x by itself, but now I have to get rid of this 6. All right, this is kind of confusing because it says 6 minus 4x, right? So this minus sign is really with this 4. Really, that's a negative 4. The sign in front of a number stays with you. Think of it kind of like your mask, right? Your mask is attached to your face. It's in front of your face, right? It's always staying with you. So this 6 I need to get rid of, but I can't do plus 6 because that minus is going with that 4. This is a positive 6, and the opposite of a positive 6 would be a negative 6. So that means to get rid of that 6, I have to do a minus 6, cross those out, and that's going to leave me with this negative 4x. And whatever I do to one side, I always have to do to my other side. 10 minus 6 gives me 4. All right, and now I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by negative 4 because a number next to a letter means multiply. The opposite of multiply is divide. That's going to cancel those out. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. 4 divided by negative 4 gives me negative 1. All right? Okay, so we did a whole bunch of problems together. There are 3 problems left. See if you can pause the video and do these 3 problems. Unpause it when you're done to check your work. Go ahead, do those 3. All right, hopefully you paused the video and hopefully you completed those 3 problems and hopefully you got those right. So let's check them real quick. 2x plus 4 equals 6. I did minus 4 to get rid of those. 6 minus 4 gave me 2, and I was left with 2x, so I divided by 2, and that got me 1. This one was x divided by 2 plus 3 equals 5, so I did minus 3 to get rid of that 3 first. 5 minus 3 gives you 2, and now I have x divided by 2, so the opposite of that would be times 2. They cancel out. 2 times 2 is 4. 4/5 x plus 2 equals 14. I did minus 2 first to cancel those out. 14 minus 2 is 12. Now I have a fraction in front of my x, so that means I have to times it by the reciprocal. I times it by the same fraction but flipped. So instead of 4/5, I times it by 5 over 4. And I have to do the same thing to the other side. 12 times 5 is 60, divided by 4 is 15. So I have x equals 15. Okay, so that is how we solve two-step equations. For most two-step equations, you're going to either add or subtract first, and then you're going to multiply or divide second. All right, if you ever have any questions, please ask a teacher. Otherwise, I will catch you next time. Have a great day! Yay!